Welcome back to 100 Days and Beyond. I'm Dudley Peacock, and this is episode 15, the final episode of week 3. This week has been the finance flow week. We have talked about how to write a transformation brief, how to accelerate month-end close, how to forecast cash through the bumpy middle. And yesterday we named 4 ERPs, honestly. Today I want to close the week by talking about the person who usually sits in the middle of all of it, which is the CFO. In most businesses I walk into, the CFO is a scorekeeper. The numbers come in, the numbers get tidied, the numbers get reported to the board, and the CFO is the custodian of that reporting discipline. That is a valuable role. It is also an incomplete one. In the businesses that compound beyond day 100, the CFO has made a different choice. They have stopped being the scorekeeper and started being the strategic architect of the operating system of the business. That is the transformation I want to walk through today. The Scorekeeper CFO is a product of an earlier era. In the 90s and early 2000s, the job of finance was to produce accurate historical numbers, reconcile them, audit them, and present them. The business made its operational decisions somewhere else, in sales, in operations, in the boardroom, and finance told them afterwards how those decisions had landed. That model worked when decision loops were slow and data was expensive. It does not work now. Data is cheap. Decision loops are fast. The businesses that win are the ones that make data-informed decisions faster than their competitors. And the CFO is the only person in the executive team whose role naturally puts them at the intersection of all the data. If the CFO is just reporting yesterday, somebody else on the team is architecting tomorrow, and that somebody is usually the CEO or the COO making calls with partial information. The CFO is not losing their role. They are just not yet using the role they already have. The architect CFO does 3 things the scorekeeper does not. First, they design the operating model of the business. The CFO has the cleanest view of unit economics. They know what each customer actually costs to serve. They know what each product actually makes in margin. They know which parts of the business are cross-subsidizing others. The scorekeeper reports those numbers. The architect uses them to reshape the business, pruning unprofitable lines, reinvesting in high-margin lines, pricing deliberately rather than by default. Second, they own the decision cadence. A 3-day close is not just an efficiency win. It is a signal that the CFO has decided the business will run at a faster decision tempo. The architect CFO actively shortens the loop between data and decision because that loop is the compounding engine of the business. Third, they chair the transformation. The CEO sponsors the transformation. The COO runs the operational piece. But the CFO owns the operating model of the business, both during and after the transformation, because they are the only person who sees every flow of money in, every flow of money out, and every margin in between. If the CFO is not chairing the transformation, they are just observing, the transformation is much more likely to miss its financial outcome. In the first 100 days, the CFO's job is to not lose money. The cash model we talked about on Wednesday, the success metric we talked about on Monday, the close acceleration we talked about on Tuesday. All of those are defensive plays. They protect the business while the change is happening. In the beyond, which is everything after day 101, the CFO's job is to compound unit economics improvement, pricing discipline, working capital optimization, investment decisions that play out over 3 years. This is where the actual return on the transformation lives. And this is where the scorekeeper CFO goes quiet and the architect CFO gets loud. I have seen many transformations land the software well and never compound because the CFO went back to reporting the new system's numbers instead of using the new system to architect the next 12 quarters. That is the expensive failure mode. The technology worked. The operating model did not change. The return on the investment never showed up. If you're a board at recruiting a CFO in 2026 or evaluating the one you already have, here is a test. Ask them to walk you through the top 3 operating decisions the business should make in the next 12 months and ask them to defend each one with unit economics. if they can, they are the architect. If they talk about the month-end close and the audit process, they are the scorekeeper. Neither answer is wrong on its own terms. A business that only needs reporting discipline can hire a scorekeeper. A business that is transforming or growing quickly or preparing for exit needs the architect, and paying for a scorekeeper in that seat is one of the most common false economies in the mid-market. And if you're a CFO listening to this, wondering which one you are, the answer is usually that you can be both. The transformation into the architect role is not about education or certification. It is about the decision to step into the operating model conversation and stay there until the team treats you as the architect. It takes about 6 to 9 months. It is the most leveraged career move a CFO can make in 2026. And it is the thing that compounds a business beyond day 100 more than any software choice ever will. That's episode 15, and that closes week 3 of 100 Days and Beyond. This week was Finance Flow. Transformation briefs that can actually be priced, month-end close from 10 days to 3 model cash forecasting through the bumpy middle, 4 ERPs named honestly, and today, the CFO's own transformation from scorekeeper to strategic architect. Next week, we move to leverage flow. Monday, we are looking at why most AI marketing tools make you worse at marketing, and the simple leverage test every founder should run before they buy another one. I will see you Monday. If this is useful, subscribe wherever you are listening. Thanks for watching, and have a good weekend.